Okay, welcome America, welcome India, and welcome Taylor Swift to the live recording in Studio 212. We are going to do one problem that has we're going to graph one problem, polynomial function, A through F for problem number 12. We're going to do all those steps. So it's just separated A through F so you know what to do first because there's a lot of steps. But it's kind of self-explanatory or whatever. Also, shout out to Coach Pano for giving me this fire shirt. It's freaking amazing. Love it. Shout out to our lacrosse team. Okay, so first thing we need to do for these problems is find the zeros, okay? And we can tell immediately there's going to be one at 0 and there's going to be one at 3. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, so 0, 0, 0, 0, and 3, 3, 0. Okay, so now, what does it say to do next? Now we need to determine whether the graph crosses or touches the axis at each x-intercept. This is kind of the new information. I don't remember if they teach, it's been so long since I've taught Algebra 2. But you can tell there are two factors where x is 0. So this is an x times an x, right? There's only one x minus 3. That tells you how many times what's going to happen with the graph. So the graph here at 0, since there are two, there's an even number of factors there, it's going to touch it or bounce, okay? And then at this factor, it's going to cross, since there's only one, there's an odd number of them. And we also know the end behavior. I don't know if that's the next step. Yes, the end behavior is the next step. This is a cubic because x squared times x makes it x cubed. So when we think back to graphing y equals x cubed, we know the shape of that graph is going to look like this, right? So the end behavior is going to be coming down from this direction, and it's going to be going up this direction, right? We know it's going to bounce here, and it's going to cross. So it's going to go up, it's going to bounce, and then it's going to cross like that. Any questions on how I got that general shape?
It bounces because it's a 2?
Because there's an even number of zeros at that location. And there's an odd number at 3, so it's going to cross there. So now, the next thing is to determine the maximum number of turning points. The maximum number of turning points, look at this graph here. Let's just review turning points in general. I don't even know, again, they teach us in Algebra 2, okay? A quadratic goes 1, that's an x squared, right? 1, 2, goes 2 different directions. So that's only one turning point, okay? Cubic, like this, 1, 2, 3. Cubic, so it's gonna have 2 turning points, okay? So we can just keep going, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice it only has 3 turning points, okay? So the turning points is the degree minus 1. So let me back up. So this degree for this polynomial is 3. So that means the number of turning points is going to be 2. That's right. And then this is the hard part. Use the x-intercepts to find the intervals on which the graph of f is above and below the x-axis. This is from Unit 1. We still have trouble with this. We're going to have trouble with this all year. Okay? It's just the way it is. It's like this every year. So we need to know where f of x is less than 0 because it says, let's read it again. Use the x-intercepts to find the intervals on which the graph of f is above and below the x-axis, not including the axis. So where is f of x less than 0? And where is f of x greater than 0? Okay? So that's y. Where are the y values less than 0? We'll start there, okay? So y is positive above the x-axis, and it's negative below the x-axis. So where is the graph below the x-axis? That's what it's asking. Here. And then not including that point, and here. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to break this up because we can't include that point. So we need to write it from negative infinity. That is a terrible infinity. Let's try that again. Negative infinity up to 0, but not including 0. Parentheses around it. In union with 0 to 3. Most people have trouble with domain. This is just a really hard concept. It's taught a little differently in, shoot, how do I get rid of the eraser? There we go. In Algebra 2, domain and range, and then when you see it in pre-cal, it's the same concept. It's just taught a little differently in Algebra 2. It's just hard to get. So now, where is the graph, and I'll do this in a different color, where is the graph of f of x greater than 0? Where are the y values on this graph above the x-axis? Where are the y values positive? It's going to be here. Everything past 3, right? So it's from 3 to infinity. So it's from 3, not including 3, so soft parentheses around 3 to infinity. That's the hardest part. Are we finished? We are. That's it.